Hello everybody and welcome to another video. I guess today we're going to be trying something new. We are going to be streaming with a brand new setup. So give me a second. Let me make sure that everything is running smoothly. Weird. Hold on. Stop streaming. All right. Okay, let's try this again. My channel. There you go. We have the stream. The stream is alive! All right, awesome. So, I have my chat, I have my checklist, and I am ready to go. I have this new setup which allows me the liberty to be able to use my hands and nice lighting, and I have a little Stitch with me, and I have little Rod, and it's really fun. Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? Perfect timing. Oh, you were doing some sketching, so I guess we were gonna be able to do some sketching together. Caleb Warner, hi. Ivan Soriano, hey. Brando Bravo, hello Rod, how are you? I am doing quite good today. I am really looking forward to actually drawing with you guys. And the winner of yesterday's poll was Gurr from Invader Zim. So we're going to be drawing him, and probably with his little piggies and everything. But as always, I like to give you guys a recap of the things that I drew this week. So I want to see, I drew a pinup, I drew my schedule, that was last week. This week we drew Harley Quinn as a pinup, and that was really fun. If you guys did not see that stream, go back and watch it. That's really, really fun. I drew a little bit of Yiyo, or Archie, how you guys know him, and I was just doing a little bit of exploration, trying to figure out some new shapes. And then I felt really good on Sunday, mostly because I was able to center myself. I felt myself feeling much more centered. For some reason, things just started feeling good that day. So I felt like sharing that with everybody. And then I drew this wonderful little piece that I'm going to be finishing in watercolor. And this is going to be a replica of the Bill Watterson, Calvin and Hobbes scene where it's like the trees and the yellows and the greens. And it looks amazing and it looks beautiful. I'm going to try to replicate that in this scene. So that's why I set it up like this. Yesterday I got the pleasure to go play pool. And I've been doing that a lot. I've been playing pool and billiards and 8-ball and 9-ball, and I have grown to really like it. So it's been really enjoyable. I do it every Monday. That's why we moved the stream to Tuesdays. And I got to draw some of the people there. These are the people that we played against. See, I'm in like an underdog team. I joined really late in the season, and these guys are like the lower of the totem pole type of thing, and I'm not as good as I thought I was. So I'm not really helping the team out, but we will do better, hopefully. At least I'll do better once I start getting more knowledgeable on the sport. And just like with everything, it takes practice, you know. So in any sport, losing is part of the whole situation. Somebody has to lose every game. So, okay. Now we get to the brand new sketchbook. Okay. Daniela Torres. Hola. Hola, Dani. ¿Cómo estás? Dragons on Stilts. Howdy. Howdy to you back. Dragons on Stilts. Time to draw. Grab your sketchbook and sketch along. Yes, I like that. I might steal that as my slogan. Sir Quinn 14. Hey, heart. Weaves. What is it? Weavers. What's up? Hey, Zoomarella. Hello. James Leatherwood. Always enjoy your work. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are always making my days a lot better by being so nice. And let me make sure that this is focusing again. What's going on here? Camera, focus. Focus. There you go. Wow, that was weird. Okay, so today we're going to be drawing Gur. Gur is a wonderful, wonderful character from the world of Invader Zim. And I'm going to make him... I just feel like making a whole scene. Taking advantage of the space that I have, because why not? So I know that Gur... I'm going to actually look up some reference because I want to get this guy right. So Gur is this little wonderful little robot that dresses like a little puppy, and he loves piggies and tacos. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to have this standing right over here in front of me for reference. But I'm gonna draw him in my style, or how I would appropriately draw him. Let's see. So we have this. We have here. Where do we want to draw him? If we wanted to make a better composition, probably here with something cool over here. Or do we draw him looking back like, yay? I think we're going to do that. So he seems to have a big head, right? So we're going to go with slightly like chibi proportions too. I'm going to draw his ears. And the first thing that I do is that I try to, just like with the pinup that we did last week, I'm going to get a feel for every part that needs to be accounted for. So first is the head. I also have to try to get motion with the lines of the head. So I'm just drawing through, trying to get a feel for how I want the character to look. Now he's going to be grabbing onto a little piggy, and they're going to be flying. So I want to give them a little bit of motion. So instead, I know that they're going to be flying, so I'm going to have to add a shadow or something down here, so it looks like it's floating. Alright, little piggy's tail. Let's see. Now, I'm going to find general big shapes that will encompass the things that I want to draw later. This is part of blocking in the shapes of, let's say, if it was like a human, this would be like the skull, right? Right, and then you start blocking things in according to the shape of what's inside. But right now, let me find an eraser, because I forgot that I don't have one. Forgot that these come equipped. I haven't used a pencil in a very long time, okay guys? So bear with me. I normally started drawing with pen about like 4 years ago, and then I never really stopped. So I find pencil to be very messy, so a lot of the times I don't draw with pencil. So we're gonna draw the little snout of the piggy. I know it's very simple when it comes down to the actual style that they have, but I'm gonna go a little bit more detail oriented. So it's gonna be a little bit more detailed Gur, a little bit more detailed piggy. So one awesome thing about Invader Zim is that this guy, the guy that came up with the idea for Invader Zim, is the same. I believe it's the same guy that did the comic Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and he also is the creator of a comic that I absolutely love called Squee. Squee is about this little terrified little kid that has absolutely everything wrong happen to him. Like, the poor kid like ends up living next to this homicidal maniac called Johnny, and he like terrifies him, like just tortures him nonstop. Monsters appear in his dreams. Monsters appear in your life. Like, it's so much that this poor little kid has to go through. But I highly suggest that you watch it or you read it, because it's just so good. Like, he tells so many emotions with his so many good emotions with his drawings and his line work. Like, you can feel the chaos from just the line work, and it's so cool. Like, see, I don't feel things when I listen to music. That is one thing that, like, pretty much everybody understands of me. I do not, like, get, like, emotional or, like, get the feelings that other people get when they play music. Like, I don't think I've ever had a song, like, drive me to tears or anything like that. So what happens with me, it's a little bit more prevalent with artwork, more so than with music, but I still don't get those feelings too much. But when it came down to seeing the artwork from John Vasquez, which is the name of the guy, he definitely has a way with making you feel things, and that being like being squeamish or being like, I don't know. It's just really, 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 really fun. Squee is definitely my favorite out of him, and then it's just the other one, Johnny the Homosauromaniac, is a comic in itself as well. So, wow, the camera is like not liking the focus, is it? All right, let's see. We're gonna have to try to draw at a slight angle then. Okay, let me read some comments while this keeps focusing. Always enjoy your work. John Gillen, you made it. You made it. Sheba, cam out of focus. Yes, I have to actually. I upgraded my camera. So starting next week, I'm going to be using this beautiful toy right here. It's a Sony ZV-1, and it'll really allow me to do very, very good high quality streaming. So bear with me this week. This was just a practice test, so hope you guys don't hate it. Matthew Gonzalez, aloha, you're an amazing artist and I love your style. Hey, I love you guys supporting my style too. Woohoo! Okay, so let's start going into the actual character of Gur. We have a little pig head. Maybe we'll make him a little bit smaller. I don't know. But we have him roughed out right now. I wanted him to be a little bit squished. And he's going to be riding over. And he has like a little, like a pillowcase body. So it doesn't take a lot to establish his body. His little tail and now his head. Let's see. He has a really blocky head. And the eyes are just ridiculously big, right? And we're gonna make him wrapping around the piggy. So if he's wrapping around the piggy, his body would be around like that. So I'm drawing through the character. I can always erase this later, but at least it allows me to really position the character where I need it. Now, this arm would be going this way too. So maybe the head comes in a little bit more. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. We don't want to create intersections, so I'm going to erase the piggy ear for now. I'm going to create the midsection. The eyes. And these eyes are technically covering big cylindrical things, but The power of cartoons, guys. So tell me, how's your guys' weeks going? Like, you guys tune in to my stream every week, and I would love to get to know some of you. So, how about we do like a little roll call here in the chat? How does that sound? I'll start. My name is Rod. I'm addicted to caricatures and cartoons. And I am here because I want to help all of you. And you guys are awesome. And yeah. How about you guys? Who's next? So, I'm drawing in the ears. I'm going to draw him going back in this way because he's going to be shooting from this direction. Whee! Let's see. Let me look up some reference as to how he opens his mouth. Okay, it's just like this gets pushed up, the lip comes out, comes up, and he just has like a super open mouth like that. Okay, you got it. And then his tongue is like, it's like a little ribbon. Alright, let's see. Hey, what's up, Garbanzo the Third? Senyo Sen, thank you so much for all you share. Hey, you know what? I learned yesterday from a fantastic friend of mine the term gatekeeping. And I got so annoyed at the fact that people actually do this. If you are not aware what gatekeeping is, it's essentially withholding information so that you can feel more privileged or more knowledgeable than others. So you can have that edge over them. Dear God. Like, see, like, I know that, for example, there's a couple industries that do this a lot. And it baffles me that they do this, you know? And it confuses me because it literally prevents that industry from growing. So let's recap. The industry that I think has the biggest issue with this is tattooing. The industry of tattooing does not condone itself for growth. It condones itself to complete gatekeeping. And it's absolutely like, it's so sad to see so much knowledge in such talented individuals sometimes. Like, not share the knowledge with the world. Because, you know, like, if you teach other people how to tattoo, then they become scratchers, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? Those people that will go into tattooing are going to go into it anyways, regardless of you teach them or not. So why not provide good resources so people can learn properly? You know, and I'm not saying tattooing is the only industry that has this problem. It's just honestly the one that's the most prevalent to me because it's so ridiculously like blatant that people just want to not share their knowledge, or they expect a lot of free labor in order to achieve the basic knowledge. Like, I think it was like, what was it? People have to be like the shop bitch for like 2 years without getting paid and without really getting any training. Because honestly, I did not for a while, I did not see anybody really training anybody. So it's like being self-taught and just throwing away your hours just to satisfy some other person's ego. And wow, dude, like it's insane to me that they do that. All right, so we have some people that have said something in the chat. You guys are awesome. Okay, let's see. We have, hi, I'm Rodney, Mr. I Bleed Creativity, and I've been drawing for a little over 10 years. I live over in the state of Georgia. Hey, what's up, man? Very glad to meet you. Let's see. Howdy. Dragons on Stilts. Howdy. I'm drinking all the coffee I can to stay awake, and I love drawing manga and realism. Huh? Perfect. That's amazing. Hi, JP Pat. Hi, I'm MJ. I'm a teacher, and I have to get up at 4 a.m. to try to be in school by 7 a.m., but I love drawing in my free time. Hey, Pat, that's amazing. That's really, really cool. Drawing in your free time and making sure that you take advantage of all that extra time that we have. You know, like a lot of people honestly are surprised that when I tell them that they could easily be drawing a good 2 hours a day, even with the schedules that they have right now. You know, it's not hard to find extra time for something that you want to do. There's always really, really, really like lack of time and not ability and time, ability to have time when, you know, when you have activities that you do not want to do, like chores. Ugh, who wants more chores, right? Like no one wants more chores. So we don't really try to make more time for that. We try to make it and like spend the minimal amount of time that we can on that, and then we just move on. Now, when it comes down to the things we love and the things we really like, well, that has to be the opposite. We have to make time for them. We have to make sure that we are feeding our souls. You know, like there's a time to be productive when it comes down to like making money and doing your day job, if you have a day job, or if you just have like another art job. Hey, fantastic, you know, but sometimes that's a little bit draining. You know, doing work for other people, you know, sometimes is draining. So when you get home, you have to like, oh man, like even I fall prey to this all the time, but you have to try to at least make a tiny bit of progress in the things that you like to do yourself. Because if you don't, it's going to just be a never-ending amount of time in which you don't do the things that you want to do. And that easily goes into months, into years. And if you don't actually like realize that's happening, you're going to end up in a situation where you just worked your entire, you know, career for some other person. You made their dreams come true, but you didn't really do anything for yourself, right? Like, you don't want to do that. So at one point, it's like you see, artists don't necessarily get doctorate degrees, and they don't get like master's degrees. Well, not all of us, but it's not normally a common thing for an artist to go into a postgraduate thing. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop learning, even if you never went to school for it. Like, you have the potential to be learning something new to improve your stuff, your art, your career every single day. Okay, so I was having a conversation with my nieces and nephews. My nieces and nephews are, the oldest one is about 19 or 18. And then the younger ones are, you know, like 13 and 11. So they're young. They're young kids. I was trying to understand, you know, where they're coming from. And it's super hard. The world is so much different nowadays. it's so much tougher for younger people. Like every generation has it infinitely harder financially. And like since opportunities dry up really really quickly, and it also like, man, but it's also the age where you have the absolutely most resources ever to do absolutely anything you want. So even if you flunk out of school and you don't really do well academically, you can be perfectly fine. You're gonna be absolutely fine as long as you find something good to fall back on. If Try to find something within your niche and then do that. So that's what we're trying to do as artists all the time. The talent pool is gigantic, and the skill level for entry is not very high. So it really doesn't matter where you are skills wise, guys and girls. If you know how to draw a stick figure, hey, a good salesperson will sell that stick figure and they will make a bunch of money with that stick figure. And when you get better, hey, they're going to make money with that, thing that is better. So you need to adopt the mentality of seeing what your possibilities are with the skill level that you are at any given point, and then maximize that potential while you progress. So a lot of people think that they have to get to a certain point before they start, or before they begin, or before their journey takes them anywhere. They have to meet certain criteria, or they think that it's that they're gonna fail if they try to do it before they get good, or before they get to a certain level. And I think that's a huge mistake. I think that's a gigantic mistake. The way that I learned most of the things in the industry, at least in the industry in San Diego and LA, is because I changed jobs every 6 months, or every single time that I learned something completely. So if I went into a job and I did not know how to do video editing, I would learn video editing and then start immediately looking for a job that taught me something I didn't know. I am absolutely fascinated by the idea of learning. So when I was younger, I absolutely hopped on every single opportunity that I could to learn anything new. That took me into a lot of different things. It took me into production work, which was also screen printing and pre-press stuff and color separations, and also it taught me a lot of attention to detail. Jobs like that teach you the technical side of art. They teach you how to get things printed right, how to make things, get into production right if you're going to do merchandise. A lot of the technical aspects are what artists absolutely hate to get into because it's boring. It's not very, very creative, but it also does ensure that your stuff comes out exactly how you want it. So it's absolutely necessary for every artist to understand those things. So I figured that out really early in my career, and I built my foundation of technical skills at the same time as I was forcing my artistic skills as much as I could. During college, I was drawing about 6 to 9 hours a day. And yeah, I understand that's a lot, and that's a lot. But when I went to college, I was horrible. I was absolutely horrendous. I was not meant to go into art. So I Like, I almost quit the first year that I was in college. And I say this story all the time, but it really is a matter of a mental perspective and the willingness to put in the work that you need to in order to achieve the goal in mind. Right? So when I started college, I didn't know the difference between animation and graphic design. So I didn't know the field that I was signing up to be in. I just knew that it involved some sort of creativity. I knew it involved drawing, and that's all that mattered to me. So I was very open when it came down to that. A lot of the other students that came in, they were what I like to call lifers. And lifers are normally people that have been doing art pretty much their entire lives, or they consider that they have been doing art for their entire lives. You know, it's the people that say like, oh, I've been drawing since I was 6. I was drawing since I was in my mom's womb. My first piece of art is inside. Those kinds of people are the ones that have the hardest time when they come to a college level education. And the problem is that they've been doing it so long without direction, right? Because most people don't really get instruction, like proper instructions, until they end up going to college. So when these kids come in, you know, they have a lot of confidence. They have a lot of technical skills off the bat. But unless they focus and they don't let themselves believe that they're good, because the situation that happens is this: they are going to be better than most of the other people in the class, right? So they're going to get a lot of praise. That praise can pretty much stop your growth in its tracks if you do not understand the basic concept that, you know, if you're going to school or you're studying, you're still a student. All that praise is praise for a student. Now, if you allow yourself to believe that you're already better than everybody else, you're not going to push yourself to get better. And that means that all that time that you put into your artwork before school, all that lead that you had, is going to disappear incredibly quick when you meet people that are incredibly determined but not as skilled yet. Praise is good. Praise gets you, you know, up in the morning, and it gets you wanting to do things again. It gets that dopamine going. But when it comes down to allowing yourself to believe that you don't have to get better because you're already good enough, that belief will stop you. Maybe not immediately. Maybe you just get really good at that one thing and then you make a little bit of a career out of it. But it's like putting all your eggs in one basket. So if that skill or that look or that style is not profitable, then you're going to suffer. So my advice to most people, and where I'm going with this, is that you should learn absolutely every aspect of your career. You should learn how to edit. You should learn how to, you know, do color corrections. You should learn how to use digital software to do your designs so that you can make more money with them. If you are a traditional artist and you do not adapt, to, a new digital era of designing and profits, you're going to suffer and you're going to, not do as good. Why? When you go into an art field, you have to be fluid. You have to be fluid. And what I mean by that is you have to be able to adapt. And if you don't adapt, well, you're going to have a very limited amount of resources at your disposal. Adapting is absolutely key to surviving as an artist for a prolonged period of time. A lot of people can play at it. A lot of people can get away with, half-assing it and, do a couple years and then, get something to fall back on. But the people that want to do this permanently for a living, pay attention. Be versatile. Be as versatile as you can. That is the only true and sure form of always guaranteeing yourself an ability to work in a creative field without having to resort to a secondary job. Learn valuable skills that allow you to work in multi-dimensional jobs. Image manipulation, Photoshop, and stuff like that will help you immensely when it comes down to, finding any sort of editorial work. Learning InDesign will help you get into magazines and help you get into publishers. That's how I got into my job right now. And it's just a matter of applying to the places that you would really like to work at. Choose a magazine that you really, really like, and then just keep on applying there until you manage to get a job there. Okay, so another point, I totally forgot what we were talking about. I just started going into how to make yourself make money and not starve. But, okay, so we're finishing the piggy, cleaning up a little bit of the lines as we go. Let me read some comments. Let's see. Matthew Gonzalez. Yeah. I'm Matthew. I love drawing and have been for 20 plus years. I enjoy playing basketball with my brother and friends and tuning into your live streams. Woohoo! Thank you, Matthew. John Gillen. John, Texas. I'm here to keep myself motivated to keep drawing every day. 10,000 hours, baby. Yes! So if you guys didn't see the video that I posted on my Instagram today, it's an oldie from my YouTube channel. And it's the 10,000 hour rule. Right? And what does that mean? Well, back in the day, I took an editorial illustration class in order to, understand what I needed to do to get into editorial business. Editorial publications, editorial cartooning, all that business. It was something that I was, interested in, so I decided to take a college course on. So the course was not necessarily all that helpful because it was mostly just learning how to use Photoshop for most of the people there. So I ended up helping, teach half the class, but it was a couple interesting little things in there. One of them that I learned is the 10,000 hour rule. And essentially it boils down to that if you want to be proficient in absolutely anything that you do, if you really want to be good at it, you have to spend at least 10,000 hours doing so. And by the time you have 10,000 hours doing that one thing, you should be a very, very skilled person in that skill. They go into examples with programmers like Bill Gates and other people and stuff like that. But it's a very fascinating concept because it's like setting a gap. It's like setting a limiter, or not a limiter, like a baseline for anybody that wants to get into a certain industry. And it's actually pretty accurate. I started tracking back roughly when I completed about 10,000 hours worth of time. I calculated the hours that I spent doing caricatures, working shifts, the times that I was, roughly rudimentary going to school and drawing there, the hours that in the classes that I took for life drawing, and the time that I would take to go draw people on my own time. So, and when it calculated into about 10,000 hours, but oddly enough, about 5-6 years into my career, and that's about the time that I believe that I started to get good. So that's when I started to actually feel confident. And even though I was already taking work and stuff, because I'm a firm believer of just learning as you go, that's when I started really, really acknowledging the fact that maybe I had what it took to be more than just a standard artist. And the more hours I put on top of that, it was just exponential, because everything just works off the previous amount of time that you have. So the more knowledge you have, the faster you learn, because other things start clicking as you progressively learn different things. So you'll get to a point where you'll learn one little tiny concept that's new to you, and then a million things in your mind will make sense, and everything will just be easier. It's kind of like a singularity, right? You accumulate so much mental imagery that at one point, all that knowledge and all that information is going to come into play, and it's all going to make sense. Now, let's redo this part. The one thing I hate about cleaning up sketches is that you lose a lot of the fluidity from the sketch. So since you have to choose between the lines, it takes away a little bit of the playfulness that you can get from a sketch. So whenever you're cleaning things up, sometimes it's worth it to just leave it a little messy sometimes. Clean up the parts that need to be cleaned up, and then kind of leave the rest to just have a little bit of texture and feel to your sketch. Yeah, I can't be the only one that, sketches something out and then you ink it, or you color it on the computer, you ink it on the computer, and then it's well, it's not quite the same anymore. Okay, so we are pretty close to getting to the point where we start going to color it. And we're going to color with watercolor today. Just because it's quick, it's simple. You can cover large areas with it really, really quickly. And I've been playing with watercolor a lot. I really enjoy watercolor. It gives me the subtle colors that I like for my highlighters. And it also provides a lot of color saturation when I want it. So unlike highlighters, it's very easy to go back in and add a little bit more feel or a little bit of gradient by just overlapping it again and again. Highlighters are very hard to control. It's like a super cheap medium. And even if you get really good at it, it's still not going to give you a nice smooth transition. All right, so we're getting to the point where we can actually start adding additional details. We can start adding, more fun things to the drawing. But before we do that, we're going to continue with the comments, because you guys left more comments. All right, let's see. We left with Matthew. Oh, no, we left with John. Moogie. My name is Moogie, and I sleep with my socks on. I draw in my free time. Moogie, you're crazy. I don't know if I can... I can't sleep with my socks on. It's like a furnace. I just can't. Moogie, that mouth in Gur is making me giggles. I don't know why. Rod Cole. Hey, Ron. I'm Rodney. I've been a great inspiration to get back into drawing again. Well, my name's Rod, though, not Ron. But a lot of people get that confused, so don't worry about it. I'm glad I could actually inspire you too, though. Zoomerella. Hi, I'm Tammy. I'm from MN. I'm guessing that's Minnesota? I think so. I have been interested in art all my life. I have been super encouraged watching your live streams. Yay! Garbanzo the Third. Hi, I'm Garbanzo. I want to become a great comic artist and animator. I enjoy art because you're creating something that never existed, and what you make can inspire others. See, I love that. I love that. The idea... Okay, all of you out there, if you're looking at a sketchbook right now and you already drew something in it, something that never existed, something that nobody came up with, you are amazing for being able to do that. You know that? You're amazing. Like, you created something from nothing, from your mind. So, yeah, you guys are awesome. And don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. You guys are fantastic. And it's not easy to create. It really is not. It's an incredibly taxing and very complex thing that goes in your mind, and then being able to transfer those thoughts onto your page, onto paper, and then doing that effectively and communicating your point across. Like, guys, girls, peeps, like, do you understand how amazing of a skill that is? I don't think you guys do. It's amazing, okay? Just take my word for it. You guys are fantastic, and you deserve a lot more credit than you give yourselves credit for sometimes. So I'm here to give you guys all the props. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna drive him a little bit crazy. He's gonna be yelling tacos. Yay! All right. I think I might do Zombie Piggy. I don't know why. Like, okay, when it comes down to, for example, vinyl toys, right? For me, I love vinyl toys. I like the vinyl toys that have just white eyes. I don't like. Hey, I'm gonna give you an example. So, we have my favorite toy, the Ice King. For some reason, I love the fact that he has no eyeballs. It's just something that looks good. And that look has always stuck with me. Like, I just like the way that things look without eyeballs. And it's hard to explain to clients sometimes that I just don't like drawing eyeballs on things, and they're like, they don't get it. So we're going to erase a little bit of the pencil smudges because, you know, look at my arm. It's all like smudgy. So I'm going to erase most of these. Let's line this up again. And let's get to doing some watercolor. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit of the smudges that I had before. It kind of looks good as shading. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Just a tiny bit of cross-hatching just to give it a little bit of texture. If you're wondering where I'm adding this wherever the light would not be hitting. I always assume that the light is hitting from the front. You know, like I always set that semi-standard, like, you know, measurement of light, and then from there on I just draw everything. All right, so let's see. We have watercolors. Okay, so I have a fantastic awesome kit that I got sent to do a video review for. I want to have that be the first time that I use it and be like amazing. So I'm just going to use my cheapo one that I have, and I'm going to save that for a video on its own. And I think I'm going to do it with Calvin and Hobbes one. I think I'm going to do that video with this. So I think that's going to be a good compromise. All right, so we have just a generic watercolor palette. Let's scoot this over a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Can you guys still see everything? Let me see. Yeah, you guys can still see everything. Okay, so I'm gonna have this right here, and I have these nifty little watercolor brush thingies. Let me see if I can get a little more light, because it seems like we might need some more light. There you go. There you go. We'll do it like that, and I'll angle a little bit. So these are really cool. They sell them pretty much everywhere. I think they even sell them at 99-cent stores sometimes. It's just a little brush that has a water container. So when it comes down to drawing with watercolors, it's just easy as just carrying a normal pen. So it's awesome. So, okay. One thing I might not have told any of you is that I am red-green colorblind. To a certain extent. I'm not completely red-green colorblind, but I have a very, very high issue when it comes down to determining what colors are green and red or brown. And it's a pain sometimes. So over the years, I have taught myself how to identify the colors by either labeling them or placing them in certain positions. But some fun anecdotes from that. I used to work as a caricature artist for SeaWorld. And when I started, I didn't know that I was colorblind yet. So I would color people's skin and hair green quite a bit. Like, it just happened a lot. So people assumed that I was like a weird kid that just drew everybody as Martians. And, you know, they never really brought it up because, you know, believe it or not, Rod has a resting bitch face. Yeah. Yeah, Rod has resting bitch face. Like, complete resting bitch face when it comes down to like just being alive. I'm a super nice person. I'm a super sweet, gentle human being, but I look scary when I'm not smiling. So that has always been kind of a bummer, but not quite. I kind of like it. And I kind of enjoy people freaking out and thinking that I'm like this badass dude that like will like beat you up if you look at me funny. And then they see like me drawing puppies and like kittens and cute pandas. So it's really funny to see like that dynamic every single time it plays out. It's funny. Let's see. Okay, so we have the colors for Gur, which was mostly just green and just overlapping the color a little bit. I'm going to go in and use black, but when it comes down to black areas, I still like to put a little bit of color in there before, because it creates a higher saturated black. When you just use straight black, unless you're using something really, really, really dark like a Sharpie, you're not going to get a big, deep, rich black. And it's not going to look black for very long. It tends to like fade over time. Let's see. So we're going to use a different brushy for the piggy. That way we don't get the colors all mixed up. We're going to mix it in with the pink. Hey, can you guys give me some feedback on the audio? Like, the audio is a very important aspect of these streams. So let me know if the video quality is better than the ones where I do with my phone. I'm pretty sure the quality of the video is much higher uh, like with the stream setup that I have right now. But I would, because I've watched the replays from the stream from my phone, and they're always super low quality. So, it was like, it's kind of a bummer, because a lot of the work that I do is, kind of detail oriented, right? But let me know, like, if you guys can give me some feedback, if you see that some aspect of the stream is not working as, like, as mentioned, or as ideal as it should be. Voicing your opinion helps me get better at this. It helps me adjust my setups, adjust lighting, adjust angles. I want to be able to perform the most optimal streams for all of you, and your help goes a long way. So as you can see, I'm laying in the pinks for the piggy, and I'm not really concerning myself with a lot of like smoothness to it, because I want to give this guy 2 passes. One pass is going to be this, just bright, like saturated pink. And then I'm going to go in again and smooth it out a little bit with a second layer of that. And the second layer I lay down with gentle, smooth strokes in the same direction, making sure that there's no blobbies at the end. So always drag it out. Always drag it out to the edge, and then pick it up with the brush. And I find that doing that gives you a super nice, smooth layering to your piece. See, like it's nice and smooth now. Okay, now the nose, I might just make the outside a little bit darker. And by doing just this part a little darker and fading it out, that's gonna look lighter. So playing with contrasts is very important when it comes down to playing with colors. A dark color next to a light color makes both the colors look different. Alright, so we have these. Let's try to smooth this out a little bit now that we used most of the paint. Okay, gotta get the little tail. And we read more comments. Okay, let's go and let's see. So Morel, Tammy, okay. Hi Garbanzo, we already read yours. Sen you sen. Such encouraging words. Well, I try to. See, I find myself in a fun situation where I have the ability and the skills to share my stuff with everybody. And, oh, the gatekeeping! That was the whole point of the thing before. Yes, I don't gatekeep nothing. Like, if I learn something new, that immediately gets shared with everybody. To me, it's like an immediate thought process. It's not even a maybe, like, oh, maybe I should. No. It's like immediately. If I know something that can make someone's life easier, or they don't have to struggle with a certain aspect of art because I'm able to show them how to do it properly, like, I don't think you guys know the how much satisfaction there is in understanding that I am helping so many of you out. And it makes me so proud of myself and so happy. And, a lot of you ask, like, hey, how can we give back? How we can... Nah, you guys are doing just fine. I'm in a great position in life where I'm in a position where I can just help. Okay? I'm in a position where I can freely and without burden to myself give as much as possible. when it comes down to this stuff. And I love doing it. It's not a chore, it's not a job. I'm not doing it for like fame or fortune or anything. I just feel like it's such a strong, like, happy thing when somebody like learns how to draw something new, and like they finally are able to create that one piece of artwork that they've been wanting to do for years, or that one thought that they had in their mind for like ever. Like they're now able to do it because someone taught them something they didn't know. That's what drives me. So, like, the person that you guys have to thank for me doing all this stuff is honestly Will Terrell. He is another artist, a fantastic artist, and he did little podcasts, and he would just draw something and just talk over it in the video, and those videos like actually moved me. They were like such happy and inspirational videos that you couldn't help but be like happy and inspired after. I'm gonna put a little bit of brown. I'm gonna just make the ground. So I couldn't help but be inspired by them every single time I tuned in. I know, like, I think he had like some issues with somebody hacking into his account, and like they erased all his videos and stuff. And man, that broke my heart, because like when someone's dedicating time to inspiring others, like, I don't know, like there has to be like some karmic guide that like should prevent you from like having bad shit happen to you. I don't know. It's not even for me. Like, I was so sad that his videos got like lost, or like that his channel got hacked, and that I just stopped myself from saying a very bad word. But yeah, there's just certain people that just, man, like that's just horrible. Okay, so in order to give this a little bit more depth, we are going to go in with blacks. We're going to go in with a ballpoint pen and add a lot of detail. But before we do that, I want to make sure that I give it a little bit of texture and gradients. So in this case, we are going to rinse off the brush by just going on a little edge. And we're going to use a little bit of, so we use pink. So if we use we're going to use a tiny bit of orange. Just a little bit. And we're going to make shadows with that orange. Yeah, that looks okay. So I don't like using black for shadows because it just muddies up your art. If you use a color, like a contrasting color or a complementary color, and then just use a darker tone of that, it tends to give you a much richer look to your stuff. And it doesn't even have to be that much. Like right there, I think I did a little bit too much. So I rinse off the brush, pick it up a little bit with my finger, and then just even it out again. And that's fine. Gives a little bit of like under the eye thing. Whatever. Mistakes happen, errors happen, just go with it and make it some. That's why we're creative. So just, make it into something else. I learned that a lot through characters as well. You learn to adapt very quickly due to like embarrassment. Because we mess up a lot as character artists. A lot. And nobody ever sees that. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can lift it. See? Made a mistake. Just even it out a little bit. And then just play off it. As Bob Ross would say, happy accidents. Happy accidents. There's always happy accidents. Okay, so we used blue. So if we want this to stand out a lot, we gotta use a yellow. So let's make a very saturated yellow right here. Tacos! There you go. We'll use that. We'll outline that, and then we'll just do some action lines with our brush. I'm going to rinse this off again, and I'm going to want to put a little bit more blue. Just a little bit more blue. And that turned out green because I had yellow on it. So it's okay. Let's go with really get a blue going. There you go. So another beautiful thing about watercolor is that once you let it dry a little bit, you can very easily go back into it and make changes. You can dilute it, you can do a lot of cool things as long as you get used to the medium. So in this case, we're gonna add some action lines. Because they're flying. Okay. And it's not complete unless you guys are doing sound effects too. So. All right. So while we wait for this to dry a little bit, let's look at more comments. All right. So sounds like the anime Golden Boy. Kinda. If you have not heard of the Psychonauts, I think you might like the art style and story. Caitlin Dragon Art mentioned. AS, welcome to Masterpiece Theater. Meet your host, Rodgon. You know what? Today I was really considering starting the stream like, hi, and welcome to tonight's stream. I am your host, Rodgon the Artist, and tonight we will be presenting a drawing of Grr from Invader Zim. But like I was gonna try to do like more like smooth voice, yeah, type of thing. But no, not at all. I can't hold that straight for like an hour. That'd be crazy. Okay, let's see. The Happy Trainer, genial, al verte de nuevo en YouTube. Mucho gusto en verlos otra vez a ustedes también. Voy a tener que hacerlo en español en algún momento otra vez, pero por ahorita, con lo que puedo hacer, es esto. Jenna H. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Brandon Matting. What's up? What's up with you? Salvador Slim. May you draw bloody Grr next, please. Bloody? Grr doesn't get bloody. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to bust out some pigment liners. I'm going to, not this one, I don't like that one. I'm gonna bust out a big pen. And my favorite pens of all, big pens, and these aren't my favorite, but big pens and multicolor big pens. Those are awesome. So now let's go in and do some detail work, and let's look a little bit more in the comments. Dragons on Skills. I've recently dived into watercolor, enjoying it a lot. It's a really, really fun thing. It's cheap too. It's like, this was like $10 or $8. This has lasted me like a year. If you guys are familiar with my pinup book, I don't know if I have it here. No, I don't have it like at my disposal right now. But it's literally, I went through, oh, here it is. I went through an entire Danique sketchbook. An entire sketchbook just with that set of watercolors. And it's not even like a tenth of the way gone. So yeah, I highly, highly recommend trying watercolors if you guys want to add color to your sketchbooks. Just make sure that you use the right sketchbooks. I'm going to make 2 videos of a couple sketch. That's going to be my favorite sketchbooks video, and I'm going to go through different sketchbooks. I have the Nique sketchbooks that I can show up. I got sent some sketchbooks from the beautiful people at Illo, so I'm going to be trying these guys out as well. As well as multiple different sketchbooks that I have gathered and drawn on throughout the years. So between Kanzen and a bunch of other ones, we will have a nice, interesting, a very interesting video, because I know that everybody is like always concerned about what sketchbook is the best, and nobody ever has videos that actually explain how these things work. I think I shifted the camera. There you go. All right, so let's go in. How are we going to do this? Okay, so when you are going over watercolor, right, it's going to clog up your pens. It's going to clog up your felt tips. It's going to clog up your ballpoints. So every so often, as you're going through it, you need to stop and do this. Just boom. Okay? Go a little bit. If you see that you went over a large patch of watercolor and you don't see the ballpoint pen painting anymore, dab your finger. And then use small strokes and try to have control over those little tiny strokes so they end up looking like a smooth line. You don't, with ballpoint, it's very hard to go in whee, and then just do like one solid line. So I have found that doing it little by little like that, having patience and understanding that it's going to take a little bit of time, will give you much, much better results than if you just went in and scratched it. Okay, so little by little we start adding a little bit of texture. Not texture, heavier lines which create contrast. So by me adding this extra black line, now that green looks lighter in comparison. That blue looks lighter in comparison. So it makes everything pop more. Like, for example, in this whole area, it was getting kind of lost with all the greens and the grays and the pinks. So it's going to take that extra rich tone of black to really pop these things. And when you're doing saturated areas that have to be all black, carefully just go in and then just do lines in the same direction so it's a nice smooth fill. So you go in the same direction and just overlap the lines over and over and over until you fill in the gaps. Do not go in opposite directions. Don't go this way and then this way and then this way. There is a point in time for that, and it's called cross hatching. And I might show you guys how to do a little bit of that in a little bit. But if you want to fill in big areas with ballpoint pen and you don't want it to look all scratchy and horrible, you just slowly build up the black by doing lines in the same direction. Some people also do circles, like little tiny circles. I've never liked that. I'm a lines guy. Okay, so now we have pretty much the most black parts of the drawing done. Okay. This also takes a huge toll on your hand. So I can already feel it. Like, I feel the pressure in my hand already. I put a lot of pressure down when I draw. That's why drawing with pen like has helped me out a lot, because I've gotten used to it. But it still takes a toll on you if you do it for a prolonged period of time. Okay. And also, touching your pen once in a while, it allows you to not get those little blobs from the ballpoints. I know that that's the huge factor that makes me come back to the big pens. They don't do that. They don't do that as much. Like most other ones, even like generic, pens that you find like at hotels and stuff like that, like the flow of the ink is excessive. So you get a lot of ink, and then it accumulates at the little ballpoint of the top, and then you end up with little smudges at the end. And I hate those. Okay, let's read some more comments while I rest my hand a little bit. Recently, Jana H. I'm yet to master using watercolor. I think mastering it is hard. There's some people that are amazing with it. Amazing. But I'm like, all right. Like, I know how to use it to do what I need to. I haven't ventured too much into techniques and like sponging and stuff like that. And like, there's so much with it that you can do. Oh, someone retracted their message. Jana H. I got over 50 sketchbooks. Every artist is a master of their own style once they are satisfied with it. I don't know. Just because you're comfortable with it doesn't mean that you're a master at something. It just means that you are complacent enough to stop there. You should never be satisfied with where you are. So you can be happy with where you are, but you should never think that you're good enough and satisfied. You should never be satisfied. Always be hungry to be better. Moogie, my favorite girl is when he was on the middle of the street looking like Jabba the Hutt stealing candy from the trick-or-treaters. That's a good one. I like the Christmas special where they had the Christmas platypus. Moogie, and I am perpetually cold, hence the socks. Jana H, cool character. Salvador Slim, expression less eyes are easier to imprint on. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Senyo Sen, I draw a lot of blank eyeballs too. The Happy Trainer, te quería agradecer por tus videos. Tus sketchbooks, tours, fueron de mis primeras inspiraciones para dibujar. He wants to thank me for the videos and my sketchbooks that were his first inspirations when he started to draw. And just hearing that alone just made my night. I am very lucky that I get a considerable amount of fans reach out to me and tell me that I help them, that I have changed their lives. And it's kind of trippy on my part because honestly, I know that I'm trying to teach people and stuff, but it's very, very hard to grasp the fact that sometimes I might be making a bigger difference than I think I am. I've gotten a lot of heartfelt messages, and some of them have even made me cry. Honestly, it's been that emotional. So I know that that's the reason that I keep doing these and I keep pushing and I keep doing what I do. It's not to build my ego. It's It's because all of you that like reach out to me and tell me like that I'm helping you. I'm a giver. I'm like a textbook giver. I will give people a shirt off my back in a blizzard. You know, if I can help, I will help. And luckily, I found something that I'm good at that I can share with people. And this has been like a super cool journey for me. And it's not even close to finishing. You know, it's barely starting. 38, and I think that my career, even though I have been doing art and living off my art for over 20 years, it feels like I finally have a certain level of achievement that I can be happy that I have achieved and that I can use to launch the next stage of my career. And what would that be, might you guys ask? Well, I'm most likely going to go into being an author. Or I'm going to try to generate my own ideas for books in general. Either it be instructional books, or be it storybooks, or books that guide you through creating something. So obviously the one that I've been pushing the most is my How to Draw Everything book. And even though it's a slow process for me to be able to put that together, every single time that I post something, a lesson or anything like that, those are all resources that I'm going to be using for my book. So I'm still moving forward with my goals, even though it's at a slower pace than I would like. But always moving forward. You should always move forward. Little by little. Oh. Okay. A bunch of you pre-ordered my book, my sketchbook, and thanks to that, I was able to fund the first batch of books. The first 50 of you that signed up immediately helped me fund that immediately. So I will be sending the book to the printers in about a week. And hopefully the books will be done by around December 20th. Now, that's a tentative date. And I know production during holiday times and stuff like that might be a little tough, to meet those deadlines. But ideally, I can probably get the books out to you guys by the end of the year. And that would make me so happy. That way I can start all your guys' ears with a little more inspiration and a little bit more drive. That sketchbook is one of my first tries. Not tries. It's one of my first milestones that I thought that I needed to reach in order to be properly categorized in the same level as other artists that I admire. That was, to me, that was my entryway. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what happens whenever you get your pen really, really, really watercolory. And see if this focuses. So if you can see, all those little smudges, those have the potential to mess up your drawing. So that's why you gotta dab it, okay? I didn't do it for a while, and I started to see like a little bit of a buildup, and that's how you mess up the drawing at the end of inking it. Okay, I'm gonna leave certain lines not black. I'm gonna leave it with the grayish tone, and that's gonna be for this inside line because I want this to be softer, so there's not a huge differentiation. So I'm gonna just kind of gradually fade that really dark line in. And I might leave these right here as well. just to give an indication of a crevice, like a skin, like, you know, like fold instead of a very big dent. So the softer the line is, the less indication of like a break. If it's a crease, if it's really soft, it might just be like a little soft wrinkle. If you make it really dark, it'll look like a crevice. You know, it's you got to learn to like apply all the aspects of all the elements that you learn: composition, color, contrast, focus, you know, line weight, line quality. Everything ends up playing a role as you go down the line and you start doing more complicated art. And as you progress in your career, you're going to naturally be able to do more extensive art. So you have to adjust. Okay, so we're almost done. Let's go into the eye. Since we're making them all zombie-eyed, I'm going to not really concern myself too much with the squigglies. So leaving a little bit of those squiggles kind of makes the eye a little bit more zombie-ish. And that's kind of the look that I was going for. So. Okay, do a little compression line so it looks like he's squeezing in there. We're gonna make his little legs moving. And this is when we start adding micro detail. Now, we went in and we sketched, we refined, we colored, we inked, and now it comes to the stage where you do little minuscule details in order to enhance the drawing. So we're gonna go into that, but let's look at some more comments. We left at Salvador. Salvador Slim, happy trainer. Thank you for your video. First inspiration to draw. Salvador Slim, dude, that sucks. Red and green are my favorite colors. Yeah, those are my worst colors. I hate them. Jana, audio is good. Audio sounds good to me. Yeah, okay, so audio is good. Graphics 1, firme looking girl. Brittany Edwards, not to mention Will had the best laugh. Oh, Will Terrell was awesome, man. It was like he had such a deep, like, happy giggle. It's like, I can't even replicate it. You guys should go look at his videos. I'm pretty sure he still has some there. What's Jamin Jester? What a broad, sweet. I made it for Gur Night. Yeah. John Gillen, do you know the weight of that paper? I believe it's 110 or like, oh, wait, is it 90? Is it 90 pound weight? Hold on. Luckily for me, I have a bunch of them. So. Okay. All right. Okay, so they seem to be 120 pound paper. So this paper from the Danique sketchbooks is fantastic. Like, yeah, it works a little bit with the water, but it just flattens out whenever you close it anyways. So it's remarkably nice. Like, when it comes down to like resistance, like, unless you're using alcohol based markers, this sketchbook is ideal for just everyday sketching. And the coolest part, no joke, is that you can put your own designs on them when you buy them, if you want to buy them through them. And they're not that much more expensive. It's like $2 more expensive to get your own design on the sketchbook. And I have a discount code, and if you put Rodgon 15 in checkout, guess how much discount you get? 50%. So you guys can get discounted stuff too. Okay, so micro detail, right? So when it comes down to that, I go in and I try to see where I can enhance the drawing by adding a little bit more contrast or like a little tiny line or something. So for example, right here on the edge where the eye meets the edge of the eye, if I add a little bit more darker lines, it's gonna make the eye just look like it's popping even more, right? Just tiny amounts. I'm gonna give him a little bit of a nose, like a nose bridge, because the nose would be perked up on something. It wouldn't just be like there. We drew that line in with a pencil and it looks good. I'm gonna make his arm moving, like yay. Just little wiggle lines, create a lot of motion. Right here, wherever there's supposed to be a little bit of a shadow, I add a tiny bit of cross hatching to it, just so you can see a little bit more. In those little micro lines that I add, those are the ones that make your drawing pop. You know, they're the tiny ones, like that little detail that separates, you know, a person that just wants to get done really quickly and just wants to get out of there, and the person that wants to put a little bit tiny more detail to their drawing. So right here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of cross at the very top and the bottom, just to give it a little bit of depth there, so it doesn't look too flat, right? I'm gonna give it a little bit of cross hatching in the middle, a little bit more right here. We're gonna, these have little nubby parts, right? They're little nubby, like little arms. So giving a little bit of indication of where the top of that little nub is provides a little bit more feel to it. Okay, same here. This has depth right here, but we didn't really indicate it, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of lines right there. And last but not least, we go in, we stylize the letter that we did for the tacos, giving it a nice black outline to the yellow is going to make that letter pop a ton. Then we're gonna do a little bit of like 3D, and then just give it like a little bit more, so it just pops more. Tacos, tacos. Seriously, if you guys have never seen Invader Zim, go look at Invader Zim now, like tonight. That's your homework. Tacos. Give the shadows a little bit more depth. We'll give it motion because they're still moving. And ta-da! Okay, well, let's finish up looking at the comments, and then let's see if we add anything else to it. Luis Scott, saludos. Weversed, I need to read Squee. Yes, you do. Salvador Slim, look it up. The OG artist snuck in subliminals, including Bloody Gurr. It's known. Oh my god, I have to go look at my comics again. Senyo Sen, oh, I'm looking forward to those sketchbook videos. I want to re-upload all my sketchbook tours, like a remastered version of them. I'm so much more comfortable talking to the camera that I think it would be beneficial for everybody if I just uploaded them again. You gotta hit us with some more tour videos? Yes. Graphics1, yep, about cleaning the ballpoint pen. My homies showed me when doing lowrider art. Oh, that's awesome. AS, how is the artwork going? Did you get some other artists to battle you? Unfortunately, being the creator of something means that about 150 of you try to challenge me. Unfortunately, being the organizer doesn't really give me a lot of time to be able to do these things. But I look forward to all the art battles that you guys did. If any of you finished any of your art wars, send me all the art so that we can make a couple fun videos just going through them. That'd be amazing. So any of you out there that finished a game of Art Wars with your friends and there was a victor, send them to me so I can see it. So I can, so we can like show it to everybody. I'm totally down. Mikhail, do you use big crystal extra bold pens? No, I use either the regular ones that come in this, which are the medium point, and the ones in these are medium point as well. I don't like the fine point, and I don't like the bold. The bold releases way too much ink, so it smudges all over the place. And the fine ones, they're so tiny. Like if you really like minuscule, like precise detail, just get a fine point. But Jesus, like it's a little too fine point, you know. Like I already draw small for the most part, and that just makes my like the line work looks minuscule. They're really cool if you have a big eye for detail, though. What do you think we should take from Michael Hampton's figure drawing design and invention book? I think that you should pay attention to the complex shapes and the color coding that he uses. The color coding helped me out a lot in visually remembering where things go. So that's why I color code a lot of the things that I do. Like, I know that this just seems like I'm just mapping out onto colors, but I'm actually color coding things to make it easier for myself to understand. And it's more prevalent when I have more anatomical drawings. Let me see if I have any. I know I drew some. There you go. Something like this. You know, mapping out how everything is, and if you have contrasting colors, your mind just automatically starts wanting to map things in a certain way. So just take that from it, like at first, and then just allow yourself to go back to the book, and then relearn things as you go. I have gone back to that book several times in my career, and every single time I just learn something new because I'm at a different stage in my career that I am able to actually understand some of the detail that I couldn't before. So now the last step that we do is the white. So white is used very sparingly, and it's normally used to create highlights. Right? Anything that would have a shine would use a highlight. So in this case, I'm going to make the piggy skin a little bit shiny. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a shine. Okay. We're going to give Gur some drool. Some flying saliva. And we'll give him a little tear too. Yay! Because he's so excited. Yay! Little highlight in the eye, even though he doesn't have it in his normal drawings. And then we'll give like a couple just little squiggles in the ground just to give it a little bit of texture. And I think that completes our Gur. So what do you guys think? Let's do a little close up. See if I can do this. Dun 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 dun. Piggy! Tacos! Let's see if this focuses again, because it took forever last time. Focus, 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 focus. Focus! Anyways, hopefully that focuses up again. Focus. Right here. Right here. Okay, so let's read some comments while this decides to focus again, because... Okay, so I hope when you do highlights, you make the piggy bum super deluxe and shiny. Yeah, let's add a little more shine to his butt. Why not? Wow. I really, really need to, like, adjust this camera. But luckily, this just only happened at the end of the stream. I know it happened a little earlier today, too. Oh, oh, oh. Perfect, perfect. I gotta drag it slowly. There you go. Oh, what a good camera. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning into my stream. Yay! I know that this guy is like a streamer. I just found out that that was his name. But it looks so much like me. So I had to make it into me. So I am sorry, Summit 1G, but this little vinyl toy is me now. I'm your copy. I am your clone in the art world. So I apologize. Actually, no, I don't apologize. This is awesome. Okay, so you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you all so much. I hope that you all vote for your character that you want to draw next week, and I will see you throughout the week. Make sure to join me on Instagram if you enjoyed this and you don't follow me there yet. I'm going to start posting more videos on TikTok as well. So if you guys want to follow me there, fantastic. I will be uploading some legacy videos to Instagram this week so that you all can see a little bit of the content that I released back when I was starting out, and seeing that, you know, the contrast in content and the confidence that people have when they talk into the camera is so much different by just doing it a lot. So anyways, hope you all have a fantastic night. I hope that you all enjoyed yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video. Deal? Alright, if you guys like this stuff, just go like and subscribe and stuff. Share your videos. Tell people about me, and I love you all. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.